J. Gatz, aka Mr. Gatsby. His style of living is classified as flashy. The parties he throws are practically legendary. They're cooler than winter nights in early February. He's got money, clothes, and cars galore. A giant swimming pool, but trust me, there's more. The cash he makes is all illegally made. See, he's running the streets, he gets that underground pay.
He throws all these parties and spends money like crazy, all in an attempt to impress the lovely Daisy. He's tired of staring out across the bay, wondering if she'll come back one day. The green light that hangs at the end of her dock distracts Gatsby, and his thoughts of her can't stop.
Cause the green lights symbolize life and rebirth of love. Cause for Daisy he'll fight. He had the girl before he went to war, but now he's back and he's looking for more. So Nick invites her over for some tea, but she doesn't know that he also invited Gatsby. They meet again and rekindle love that they shared. Now all of a sudden they're in an affair. Now Tom gets jealous, but what else is new? Kinda hypocritical, cause he's sleeping around too. Now Myrtle is his mistress and she's in it for the cash, cause she's tired of living out of the Valley of Ashes.
Only in New York does East Egg meet West. In the Valley you are T.J. Eckleberg's guest. Under the judgment of God depicted on a billboard, the Valley is the gateway to a decrepit world. People work their ass off just to survive. They ain't no cats with no 9 lives.
Now this is where it all seems to go downhill. Love crashes and burns and the truths are spilled. See, Myrtle craves the money, wants to be iconic, but she's killed by Gatsby's car. That's so ironic! The yellow Rolls Royce with the tinted windows, but the color of the car is a literary symbol.
Yes it is. It's a symbol of the wealthy. The car steals Myrtle's life, making George unhealthy. George, being blinded by all the rage, sets out on a journey to silence an age. Playing the sights of 6 o'clock 9 on Gatsby, this man stole his love, who now rests above. Pulls the trigger and sends them to hell. Time has come and they hear the toll of the bell. So George decides that it's his time too. Shoots himself while Gatsby's lying dead in the pool. Like the undying eyes of the billboard doctor, George ends up just like John Proctor, fighting against his society, against the corrupt propriety. This man seems to be a tragic hero. His heartbeat reaches 0.
So Nick decides to get away, go back to the Midwest, where he had spent his early days before he knew West Egg. So Nick decides to get away, go back to the Midwest, where he had spent his early days before he knew West Egg. He gone.
As we're watching, God is next on the list. You better listen up, cause this can't be missed. His main theme deals with all the different fights that happen in a marriage concerning women's rights. Our protagonist, Janie, wants a respectful man that she can love, but her Graham don't think she can, so she decides that a marriage must be made with a man who can protect her and is quite well paid. Graham's choice is Logan, cause he's pretty rich, but Janie doesn't love him and he treats her like a so for a year their marriage lives without no sparks until a man comes along by the name of Joe Starks. He promises Janie that he'll give her fancy things, expensive flashy dresses and wedding rings, but he also pledges a little something more, and that's the greatest thing of all. Put more. And so they elope and run across the border to a little downy nose called Eatonville, Florida. It's the first all-African American town. Jody becomes the mayor cause he's the smartest around. He buys the town everything from streetlights to land. His only real goal is just to make it grand. But Janie is unhappy cause she feels left out. Jody's oppression and neglect give her reason to pout. When she tries to fight back, Jody decides to berate her. As the cycle continues, he begins to hate her. So their marriage grows colder as the years pass by, and things only get worse as Joe begins to die. He lies on his deathbed and won't let her come near. So when he does go, things finally come clear. She's happy that he's gone, now she can be free. Without him in her life, she'll be who she wants to be. She does just that with the men empty cake. She hangs with him, though her rep is at stake. As they hunt and fish, she likes him more and more. She doesn't even care that he happens to be poor, cause he treats her with respect, and plus he loves her back. And now she's got everything that Joe caused her to lack. What? So they get married and move to the Glades, allowing them to pursue some agricultural trades, planting beans and rice and making money by day, doing whatever they want after dusk with their pay. Yes, indeed it seemed they were living the good life till the hurricane came, made it rise with strife. They had the chance to flee, but if they did reject, they were sure their humble home would safely them protect. But in front of this pain, they surely should have walked, for when it came they hoped that with them Jesus walked. When it did pass, they were alive yet soggy, and due to it the cake was bitten by a crazy doggy. So it was rabies, he slowly did contract, and after some time his mental health cracked. Janie was forced to shoot him in self-defense. She was acquitted of the crime, though that was just common sense. So she had to prepare for an awkward homecoming. All her friends found her weird, cause they thought she had been slumming. But she told Eatonville that she don't care what people say, cause love ain't the same to everyone who looks its way. Baller!
Here's how Salinger's story goes. Catcher in the Rye is a tale of woes. Misfortune follows Holden wherever he roams. He's had trouble living without his little bro. Holden has become a deranged young man, living his life, he ain't got no plan. Kicked out of school to New York he ran. He's the kind of guy that no one understands. Holden always travels with his red hunting hat, biggest symbol in the book, so remember that. He once was a child, he can never get that back. His youth and innocence he will forever lack. He decides he wants to be a catcher in the Rye, protecting kids' purity before it runs dry. Of all these kids, he loves his sister the most. He wants to keep her safe and he wants to keep her close. At his old school, Holden had some troubles, failing 4 classes, asked to leave on the double. Holden was in love with a girl named Jane, but his roommate took her out and it caused Holden pain. The roommate didn't treat her right, so they got in a fight. Despite Holden's right to be mad that night, his roommate hit him back and they couldn't make amends. See, his whole life, Holden's never had any friends. Now in New York, he didn't want to go back home, so he wanders Manhattan all alone. On the train, he met a schoolmate's mom. Although he hated her son, he told her he was the bomb. Wanting some answers, Holden looked for some, asking where ducks go when winter comes. This curiosity reveals a youthful side of Holden. See, he's not always grumpy and he's not always scolding. After days of dates and bars and parties all night, Holden leaves the city cause money is tight. He goes to see his teacher, Mr. Antolini, but he creeps Holden out. He goes home to see Phoebe cause he's stressed and depressed. He wants to go west, Phoebe wants to come with, but Holden protests. He goes to a park and Phoebe follows him there. Watching her makes his emotions flare. He sheds one tear, it all ends right there.